And welcome and good evening. Welcome to Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. My name is Linda Wu. Today is Tuesday, February the 8th, 2022. Welcome to CNRP America live TV show. I am broadcasting live from Los Angeles, California. Actually from Riverside, California, about 30-minute drive from Los Angeles, but still in California. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. As always, we have petitions. We have a lot of many areas to cover. So please, first of all, support our petitions. Ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. We are still collecting signature, and so we need your help. We need you to share. We need you to share the petition, teach people how to do the petitions, and still get your word out. So ending impunity for justice in Cambodia is at change.org. Together we hold Hun Sen and his ally responsible for killing or continue to kill and hurt Cambodians. So ending impunity in Cambodia campaign, seeking support from Cambodian community inside and outside of the country, and also from non-Cambodian as well, with the aim of gaining 500,000 signatures. As of today, we have almost 113,000 signatures. So please continue to support, continue to share the petitions as well. As always, before I start my show, I want to let everybody know that this show, people always ask me, why are we talking in English? The purpose of this show is to bring awareness to the political situations in Cambodia. And also my guest tonight will help us to understand, and also we will listen and we'll learn from a personal perspective, so that we can better inform and also better equipped to do our part to help out Cambodia. And also, thank you for watching. Thank you, Eric. Thank you, Hilyu. Thank you, Samuel, for always tuning in every single week. So thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Again, the first petitions I would like you to help, share, and support is ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. I have a short video clip for Her Excellency thanking you who help and support. Especially thank you, Bong Samantha Singh, who's always putting on her Facebook as well, asking everyone to continue support ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. So we will play that video clip in a little bit, and we also will have another petitions at Action Network. I will describe that in a bit, and then we'll go into a little current event, and we'll go into our topic. But before that, please continue to sign and share the petitions ending impunity for justice in Cambodia at change.org.
អីប៉ាធ្វើល្អបានគេសម្រាប់
រដ្ឋប្រហារថ្ងៃទី5 ទី6 ជីវជាត្រូវបានខ្មាន់កំភ្លើងបានសម្លាប់នេះជាប់ពាក់ព័ន្ធនឹងរាជរដ្ឋាភិបាលនៅអ្នកស្រីពីសិទ្ធិលោកបដិកម្មនេះត្រូវបានខ្មាន់កំភ្លើងបានសម្លាប់3គ្រាប់កាលពីថ្ងៃក្រោយប៉ុន្តែធ្លាក់អ្នកបេះដូងលែងដើរដល់សកុតភ្លាមខ្ញុំសូមថ្លែងអំណរគុណទៅដល់បងប្អូនដែលបានចូលរួមចុះហត្ថលេខាលើកញត្តិយុទ្ធនាការបញ្ចប់នៃទណ្ឌភាពនៅកម្ពុជាតាមនិយាយទាំងអស់ពីពិភពលោកបានចូលរួមធ្វើនៅកាតព្វកិច្ចដ៏សំខាន់មួយពិសេសយុវជនដែលបានចូលរួមញត្តិបញ្ចប់នៃទណ្ឌភាពនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជារបស់យើងហើយក៏ជាលើកទី1នៅក្នុងប្រវត្តិសាស្ត្រដែលបងប្អូនខ្មែរទូទាំងពិភពលោកអាចមានឱកាសចូលរួមស្វែងរកយុត្តិធម៌ជូនអ្នកដែលបានបាត់បង់ជីវិតទៅហើយនៅពេលនេះញត្តិយើងបានជាង 100000 ដែលញត្តិរបស់យើងគឺមានចំនួន 100000 ជាងហើយមិនដែលមានញត្តិណាមានខ្ពស់ដល់ប៉ុណ្ណឹងហើយនៃទណ្ឌភាពនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជាដែលយើងចង់បញ្ចប់គឺករណីសម្លាប់ដោយអវត្តដូចជាករណីលោកជាវិជាករណីលោកស្រីពិសិដ្ឋលកាចាក់ករណីលោកករណីលោកឈុតវិធីករណីនៃបដិជនសុនប៊ុនធឿនបានសម្លាប់ទង្គាលទៅលើពលរដ្ឋទៅលើអ្នកចេះដឹងទៅលើអ្នកដែលឈឺឆ្អាលរឿងប្រទេសជាតិរឿងនយោបាយហើយបន្តប៉ុណ្ណោះគឺយើងនឹងស្វែងរកយុត្តិធម៌នៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជាទៀតមិនឲ្យមានការកាប់សម្លាប់ប្រជាពលរដ្ឋក្រៅប្រព័ន្ធច្បាប់នោះទេដូច្នេះយុទ្ធនាការនេះគឺជាយន្តការអន្តរជាតិមួយដើម្បីជួយរកយុត្តិធម៌គាត់តាមរយៈ
អន្តរជាតិ
ដើម្បីយើងប្តឹងទៅតុលាការអន្តរជាតិជួយរកភាពយុត្តិធម៌ជូនអ្នកដែលបានបាត់បង់ជីវិត
អ្នកដែលយកបានមកចុះហត្ថលេខាជាង100000នាក់នេះគឺយើងយកទៅអង្គការសហប្រជាជាតិដើម្បីទាមទារឲ្យអង្គការសហប្រជាជាតិដឹងថាត្រូវតែមានការស៊ើបអង្កេតឯករាជ្យលើករណីទាំងអស់នេះ
លុះត្រាតែបងប្អូនយើងទាំងអស់គ្នានៅក្នុងស្រុកនិងក្រៅស្រុកចូលរួមឲ្យបានច្រើនបន្តនៅយុទ្ធនាការបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
ដូច្នេះសូមបន្តចុះញត្តិឲ្យបានច្រើនគ្រប់គ្នាបន្ថែមទៀត
ហើយខ្ញុំសង្ឃឹមថាពុកម៉ែបងប្អូននឹងបន្តចូលញត្តិអនឡាញនេះបន្តទៅទៀត
ដើម្បីឈានទៅរកយុត្តិធម៌ជូនដល់ជនរងគ្រោះហើយបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
ដោយគ្រាន់តែបងប្អូនមានត្រឹមតែទូរស័ព្ទដៃមួយគ្រឿងនេះគឺជារឿងអស្ចារ្យមួយនៅក្នុងសតវត្សទី21នាសម័យបច្ចេកវិទ្យានេះ
យើងរួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជា
ចូលរួមបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅក្នុងកម្ពុជា
យើងចូលរួមបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជាទាំងអស់គ្នា
យើងរួមគ្នាដើម្បីបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
ដើម្បីបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពឲ្យមានយុត្តិធម៌នៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
រួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
រួមគ្នាបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពដើម្បីយុត្តិធម៌នៅកម្ពុជា
សូមបងប្អូនចូលរួមចុះហត្ថលេខាលើញត្តិរបស់យើងដើម្បីបញ្ចប់វប្បធម៌នីតិរដ្ឋភាពនៅប្រទេសកម្ពុជាដើម្បីរកយុត្តិធម៌ជូនទៅដល់អ្នកដែលរងគ្រោះ
ចូលរួមបញ្ចប់នីតិរដ្ឋភាពនៅក្នុងប្រទេសកម្ពុជា
Welcome back and thank you for joining our show again. This is Khmer Youth Voices for Justice. This show is part of CNRP-America live TV show. Again, my name is Linda Wu. Thank you for joining our show. I have two wonderful guests. The first one, her name is Pauline Sum. She is the Secretary of the Women Affairs. Let me bring her out. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. And yourself?
I'm good. Thank you for being here, Natmin.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Can you introduce yourself? I know you've been here. You're not here often, but you're here a lot too.
Okay, so my name is Pauline, and I'm joining you from Modesto, California. And I'm the General Secretary of the Cambodia National Rescue Party for the Women's Affair in America and overseas. And it's always a pleasure following you. And thank you for all that you do.
Thank you, Natmin, and thank you for all you do as well. And we'll talk about that in a little bit. My second guest is Samady. He's here, I would say, every other week to support our show. So thank you, Samady. Let me bring him out. Give me a Samady.
How are you today?
How you doing, Samady?
Good, Bong. I'm excited to go back to school on the 12th. So finally it's opened back up after 2 years.
Oh, nice.
So how's the campus? Still beautiful?
I haven't go to school yet, so I'm still online learning as of now, but on the 12th I will be going back in person. So yeah.
Well, thank you, Samady, for being here, and thank you, Samady, for always supporting our show. He's here, like I said, every other week. If you don't see Samady next week, that means the other week he should be here. So thank you, Samady, for giving up your time and also for giving your perspective from the real youth perspective on the show. So thank you.
Thank you, Bong.
So earlier, I was talking about having our audience support ending impunity for justice in Cambodia, and the campaign is still going on. So your support is vital. And also the second one is at Action Network. Please help to sign. Let me share the screen. It's another important one. It is an open letter to President Joe Biden. It's a U.S. ASEAN summit, so it should work to bring genuine democracy to Myanmar and Cambodia. So far, we have 941 signatures collected, but your support is still it's still, please go to actionnetwork.org, and we will also drop the link as well. We have our really dear guest drop in the probably the link soon. So please, it's an open letter to President Joe Biden, asking President Joe Biden to, in regard to Cambodia, we urge the United States to provide support and backing the existing people-based independent fact-finding commission of inquiry for Cambodia. So there's two there's 2 points that we want to make, also regarding the 112,000 signature that we collected. The second one is declare ahead of time that the U.S. will not recognize the 2022 commune and 2022 parliamentarian Cambodian elections, and they have no chance of fitting the definition of free and fair elections. So that is the 2 items under Cambodia that we urge President Joe Biden. And like I said, if you look at the right-hand side, thank you, one of my audience, for dropping that link. If you look at the right-hand side, you see all they want your name, your last name, your email, name and last name is not even a requirement, and then your zip code is not even a requirement. So please help to go to Action Network. The link is on our chat right now. Please help and sign that. The reason I brought it up, that topic, because let me stop sharing this and let me share another picture. This one. President Joe Biden has invited the Asian nations, which is considered a 10 country, which is Cambodia is the chairmanship, and Hun Sen is the head of that chairmanship, to face-to-face meeting in the United States. Hun Sen have been talking about this meeting for many months already. He is so excited that the last time was like 2000, the year 2000, that he was going to be here in the United States, in Las Vegas, and he was talking about how the thing is to show off. This meeting is not showing off to anybody. It's basically show off to Cambodian, inside Cambodia, how the strongest democracy, the father and the mother of democracy in America, invited him to the land of free. So that means, what is your input on this? Joe Biden is inviting him because he's the head of the ASEAN, but at the same time, Hun Sen is, breaking on how this invitation, talking for the last 5 months about him coming to America.
Thank you so much for asking that important questions. I hope he doesn't come. I hope that we will send enough of a strong message to let him know that he's not welcome to the land of the free, the home of the brave, the democracy, father of democracy, because, doing so, allowing him to come and having shake our president's hand, it's a slap to the face, for democracy and for everyone that's suffering abuse everywhere. So, I hope that he will not come. And if he does, let him, let it also, the other party, like the representative of the NUG of Myanmar and the representative of CNRP should also be there. But I strongly doubt that he will be coming.
He want to come, but we don't want him to come. So he's been exaggerating. I mean, not exaggerating. He's been telling everybody in Cambodia he's coming over. He's going to be in America. The meeting was supposed to be end of January, so they postponed it. Samady, what does it mean to the Cambodian people when he come here? What image is he projecting to the people in Cambodia?
Well, in diplomacy term, the U.S. It shows that the U.S. still care about Cambodia, and they do not want them to walk the wrong path like the Chinese government do, because they don't want Cambodia to be a pawn of China. That's why they still invite and show decency to the regime by wanting to shake hand, and hopefully they turn back and not using this strategy like China, where we will get into the topic later on. But I think in 2018, China has been successfully using this so-called the Great Firewall of China. It's like censorship internet. They control 1.3 billion people of the information that flow around the country. And this is the direction Cambodia is heading right now. And if this is successful, Cambodia will turn into another sovereign state of the Chinese government. And I'm afraid that 10 years from now, there's no such thing as Cambodian people, because most of the descendants will become, I mean, they probably speak Chinese, because right now in Cambodia, English is still an important language to learn, because there's a lot of business to do in Cambodia. But I don't know, 10 years from now, if English doesn't exist and only the Chinese language and Cambodian language, our country will not be Cambodia anymore. So hopefully, I hope that he come and change the direction. But deep down inside, I don't want him to shake hand with President Joe Biden, because we feel like we accepting dictatorship into our country. But
let me show you what we did when he came last time. This is what we normally do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
that's right.
Do you recognize some people?
Yes.
She recognized the handsome man right there.
I know that this man, that man over here with the holding the paper, handsome man, and also and also, you know, so this is what we first of all, we don't want him to land in America. That's the first goal. So please, if you can pick up the phone and call your senator and express your concern, so your senator can pass the message to the State Department as well. You know, say that we don't want Hun Sen to be here. We don't want dictator in America. That's the first one. Because even though President Joe Biden invited us it's a summit, so it doesn't matter who is the chair. Everyone going to be here. So since the last time, I think 2019 or 2018, that he was here in Sunnyvale, I think it was 2018 in Sunnyvale. He was planning to come again in 2000 in Las Vegas, but due to COVID-19, he didn't get to come. So, and we are aware that during that time was during March that he was planning to come, but because of February 31st, he couldn't come. So he couldn't come. So now he is again expressing his really interest and also very proud that he's going to be invited. So first of all, we don't want him to come, but if he come, we all prepare to protest, to say that we don't want him to be here. We will make our voice heard, so that way to exercise our freedom of expression, because this is something that you could not do in Cambodia. But in America, you can do mass protests with showing that, you know, we don't want him to be here. So that's the one of the hot topic. Let me bring out another second hot topic. This one, the Naga co-op worker. This is their 40 days. 8 people have been imprisoned. So we still asking for their release, and also to reinstate 365 workers back to work. And also union is very important. Union is still there. And yesterday and today they cannot protest because of COVID. The regime, issue a law that they had to go through COVID. They went and get COVID testing. So again, this is February. COVID happened where this is where, if you haven't seen, they protest, peaceful protest. Peaceful protest. and the lawyer issue that they need to do COVID and they cannot, so they are pausing their protest going to COVID right now. That mean any thought on regarding the COVID testing, or soon they order to do COVID testing in outside open door 6 feet apart, sitting down to protest?
That is so sad. That is very it's, I guess somebody said that if no matter what laws or whatever in Cambodia, okay, so they're requested to do testing 6 feet apart. What about in the casino where people are packed? Why not? They're not required to even, not 1 feet apart. They're there. And these people are peaceful protesting outside. The gambling and the karaoke bars where people
That's even closer than me. Huh? That's even closer.
Yeah.
The space at a karaoke bar, that's even closer.
Even closer. That's why it's not even like 1 space, 1 feet and 1 foot. And then I think this is just a ploy to, subdue or to crack people down or to violate, humans' rights, workers' rights. I really, really believe that, because I do not think that, if he is that fair, if he required testing and 6 feet distancing for these people, that should also apply to people who are going to karaoke bar, apply to people who are going to gambling, everything else, not just them.
And at the same time, these people, the Naga Corp protest, they're not even allowed to even protest in front of the building. They push them aside, so that way people that are going to visit the casino won't see them. So that, and if you in Cambodia, please stop going to the casino. Stop supporting casino. That just not support the people who are on strike right now. Any input, Samady, regarding the testing for peaceful protests in open air, but required to do COVID testing?
Well, I just feel bad, because as you know, most people that go to the casino, majority of them is Chinese people that have a lot of money to spend in Cambodia, and in their mind, they're probably laughing right now. Look at all these workers, they lost their job and protest in front of the casino while they get being pushed to the side. No one care about them, while the casino welcome these Chinese people with open arms because they have money. This kind of shows that any peaceful protest idea in Cambodia in general is not welcome. Just like in China, they want to control their ideologies of being communist. In Cambodia, it's the exact same thing. So a peaceful protest, these people, I saw the police standing in front of them. They just putting their hand behind their back. Just the police just stand there like watching them protest. These can shows that from this action, it can shows that these people have no intention of being violent. You see pregnant women going to the protest, wearing uniform. Is not some like people that come looking for trouble. So they just want their job back, and they want their union leader to be released unconditionally without any restrictions. So this is just sad to see the state that Cambodia is in right now, and I feel like it's going to be worse from now, because this issue has been last at least 1 month already without any solution, and it's just sad to see.
It's been 40 days since they started protest, and also the negotiation started since last year, because they couldn't get any solution. That's why they are protesting. Talking about freedom of speech, talking about freedom of expressions, our topic is Cambodia new sub-decree on ING, and ING stands for National Internet Gateway. We talked already last on this topic on the show, I believe like a year ago, when it first surfaced up, and when first the regime brought up the issue, we brought up the issue that it's controlling everyone freedom of expression, gonna also control the internet, especially the internet. One of the in the source that everyone in Cambodia get their news is Facebook. And also because in Cambodia there's not many independent media at all, so yeah, you see a lot of the regime television, and all the feed from Facebook, from this what called the regime mouthpiece. So I have an introduction video talking about the national internet gateway, and see what is going on, what is it that we're talking about, and let me share that screen with everyone as an introduction.
The Cambodian government signed off on a new national internet gateway on February 16th. The government says this is to enhance national revenue collection, protect national security, and maintain social order. But rights groups fear Cambodia is making its own version of China's Great Firewall, which monitors and censors everything online. A government spokesperson denied it. When we first drive a car, we have to follow the traffic law. Is there any country which does not control the internet? The USA and England have it, and they have spent a lot of money on counterterrorism. So Cambodia made this sub-decree by learning from other countries. That is misleading. Regulations over the internet do exist most everywhere, but the degree of control being sought in Cambodia far exceeds that in the US, where free speech protections are paramount. Following a raft of politically motivated prosecutions, assaults on opposition activists, and arrests for online expression in Cambodia, critics warn that the national gateway is one more step in the crackdown on civil society and open expression. And apart from being a tool of censorship, analysts say the gateway is, quote, fundamentally incompatible with how the internet works, unquote. Its technical deficiencies will throttle internet speeds and undermine security. Other governments have abandoned plans for their own internet gateways as infeasible.
So on February 16, which is next week, it's going to go into effect. They already make this law. So the ING will enable the Cambodian government to monitor internet activity, intercept and censor digital communications, and collect personal data, which is considered self-censorship and within the one-party state. How scary is that, Samady? How scary is it that everything you do is filtered through one channel, and they are able to say, hey, Samady, I'm going to get you whatever you type, whatever you watch?
Well, I believe there will be no more Google in Cambodia. If you want to do research and study on a certain thing, you wouldn't find the information that you wanted, because most of the open source internet, when doing research and study for younger generation, is being censored, and all the information is not showing. I think what Cambodia trying to do is to implement Google alternative known as Baidu, which is 1.3 billion people use in China. It's like Google, but Baidu is controlled by the government. It's kind of government Google. So I think Cambodia is heading toward that route. They're going to use Baidu instead of Google. And this will keep the ideology, the communist ideology, into one pocket. So the next generation cannot look things up. For example, we can see that the protests in Naga, this type of protest can impact the government negatively. But at the same time, if you cannot look this up, you search on protests in Naga and it doesn't show up, it's easy for them to manipulate the information and keep the Cambodian youth and next generation in the dark. They wouldn't know anything happens going on into the society. And as we know, in Cambodia, 80% of the population is youth. So I feel like Cambodia is heading toward dark time right now if this go into effect by next week, you said. So that's
Samady, but the Naga protest, peaceful protest, it's not even on any web, on any of his Facebook, on any of their mouthpiece at all. So
well,
even though there's everybody reporting, everybody knowing there's like over 1,000 protests every single day, peaceful protests, but the regime mouthpiece doesn't even advertise or don't even mention that this exists at all. So that's one thing that they're not letting the people in Cambodia that follow them, that believe that, you know, under peace, under prosperity, there's no such thing going on. There's no land grabbing. There's no deforestations at all. And thank you, Samri, for bringing that up. But like I said, I look at his Facebook. I look at the regime mouthpiece on newsletter on Facebook, any news one from any new insight internationally, that from their mouthpiece, there's nothing about the peaceful protest by Naga Corp worker.
But for people that want to find out information, like they don't want to be manipulated, they can just go on Radio Free Asia and look up the information. But if this going into effect, they cannot search that up because Radio Free Asia would not exist at all. So they have no way to confirm if this information is true. The only true information that will come out is through the government. So
not even Radio Free Asia, we couldn't even be on anymore. We ourselves cannot be on Facebook Live. CNRPA is going to be disappear from Facebook. And I'm bringing this young man. Can you help to understand this young man? What's going on with this young man? He's here. He's arrested here. I'm trying to make the picture smaller, but for some reason it doesn't go smaller. He was arrested.
So this is a young man, Katsawan Chai. Katsawan Chai has been determined to be autistic. His mom, there was an interview, and he didn't start talking until he was 9. So it's established that he's autistic, and at school he was bullied and all that. And but he has passion for politics, and he has passion for human rights, and passion for his father, who is very an activist for CNRP, and his father was arrested. And so one day on there's a second arrest. On his second arrest, on Telegram, he was express his anger on Telegram about how unfair it was for his father Kakumpia to be arrested. And he was just saying that, expressing his opinion. And then someone, a Cambodian man in Canada, according to Katsawan Chai's lawyer, alert authority in Cambodia. Within 20 hours, he was arrested and jailed, not in juvenile hall, mind you, inside the prison or inside jail with 20 other people who are adult. And this is a child who barely, who could, autistic individual, has difficulty expressing social needs. And so his lawyer tried to advocate that, well, my client is having autism, and they said, well, it's not established. So they kind of dismissed that. So all in all, someone alerted, and this is the National Internet Gateway has not even taken place yet. Imagine when it takes place, how much worse it gets.
Yeah, this is one of the situation where, like Naming said, it's not even take place yet, and they come and grab him, and he's been arrested. He's been in jail, thrown in jail, and even though he's free, he's our jail right now, but he's under conditions that you don't still have what we call, he has no freedom. He's living in jail without wall right now. He cannot do anything. They still watch him. They still monitor him. Let me show a very sad video where they wouldn't let his mom see him. He like Ming said, he's autistic, and they wouldn't let. Let me see. Sorry, technical difficulty, but I'll get there.
Oh, you will. Trust you. And Linda, we trust.
Full screen is unavailable. Okay, so let me see. Watch it. We can watch it right now. I think we can watch it. You can see a little screen where she just running up to her kid.
And the arrest happened at night, right? They just come and got him. So that Prom Chanta is his son. He like I said, he is currently out of jail, but jail without wall. And at the same time, that's a situation where he is imprisoned. He was imprisoned with a doll, and he's 16, autism, can barely he need his mother. He need to be outside. So finally, they release him after I think many months in jail. But at the same time, that just shameful of the regime, and the law has not even going into effect. This NIG is not even affected. Imagine on February 16, everything. If everybody just sitting there like, oh, that's nothing going to happen, they're not going to do anything. Everything going to be filtered, and if you start seeing your Facebook page missing, your favorite Facebook, your favorite blog missing, you will start realize, oh, this is what happened. This is what's going on. So let me see. That's one of the item. I want to share something from. This is from ligadocambodia.org, where they're talking Cambodia prison of interest. Let me show you currently how many people actually in prison and what is the current situation right now. I want to show you. So according to Ligado, they have 61 prisoner under political prisoner, 2 people under media, 8 people under union, 12 under land, and other considered 3. So total of 66 prisoner that in prison right now. And so they are currently prison in Cambodia for their peaceful political, environmental, social, land, and labor activists, as well as journalists and other unjust detained by the regime. So you see this picture of the egg. So this is our egg of the union, Naga union union leader. So they all been in prison. They how many days? Like Chimsitas, she been in prison for 34 days. And they how many days they in prison? Detained for 40 days.
36 day, 36, 40 day, and so on. And if you look at here, there's a political activist. His name is McKean. He's been in prison for 82 days. And the reason he's in prison, he been detained for 82 days in November 19, 2021. He faced up to 12 months to 5 years in prison. His charge, incitement to commit felony, insult against the king, insult. So what he did was, the regime is saying that he's actually in a migrant worker in Thailand. He's posting against the regime. He is so what happened, they went to Thai, the police in plain uniform, and grab him from Thai and bring him back to Cambodia and put him in prison. Now we are talking, not talking about just in Cambodia. We are talking about our migrant worker in Thailand as well. That's not safe. If you share or post anything of the regime, and because of Thai official corrupted with the regime, you will be also they also will go to Thailand, arrest you, and that. And if you see to the right of McHing, you can also see, where is that page? Visna Win. He's in detained for 93 already. He's already been sentenced to 2 years in prison. And at the same time, on that day, I think they also arrest some Nang Wung. He's in prison for 93 days. He have not been sentenced yet. So and also like Tawri, that day, so also the same day, 82 day as McHing. So these people are from Thailand. These 4 people are living in Thailand, and they brought them back to Cambodia and throw them in jail. So this is not just happened in Cambodia, it's happened. And all these are, if you go to this website, ligado-cambodia.org, they've been profiling how many people in jail and how many months they haven't been in sentence. Like Tom Bonton, he's been detained for 204 days, 20 months in prison. And also you can see their charges. So this man is Sopat Sam, sentenced to 7 years in prison. If you want to read some more, he's law on forestry, Article 97. So he's charged that. So detained for 241 days and June 13, sentenced to 7 years in prison. So this is an update that came out today. And like I said, CNRP activists, political activists, so nobody safe. So this is before the NIG even control. Like I said, it's total of 66 prisoners that due to their peaceful political, environmental, social, land, and labor activists, also journalism. And so these are freedom of expression. These are people that go out there and dare to say what's wrong with the regime, and even not just saying, like McHing, like La Tauri, Wisnabun, and Samnang Wun. They are actually in Thailand, or what they did, and they are no longer inside Cambodia. They post critical of the regime, critical of Hun Sen, dictator Hun Sen, and as a result, they are in jail. So this is before ING. Imagine if that happened Imagine on February 16 when this happened. So many people, many organizations have called to the regime to not enacting that law for since next week is February 16. That means, do you have any input regarding our activists that in Thai that working in Thai, the not activists, the migrant worker in Thai, the reason they're in Thai because there's no job in Cambodia. So they went to work, they went to labor, like hard labor in Thailand, and just posting like us. If we sort of say this and we in Thailand, they probably grab us already.
And that is so sad. Thank you, Linda. Like in the case of Mich Hieng, Mich Hyung is not even he's not your typical political activist. He is like in this country we call agency worker. You know, he worked with an agency where, you know, people go to him, and he worked with the Thai to, you know, find people a job. He's not your like CNRP activist, but you know, they nabbed him, they got him. You know, for what? It's because, you know, he's popular, and he's able to get people you know, a job. And so why, if you wanted to not that have that happen, no one wanted to leave the country. Most migrant worker, if not all, if you ask them, who would want to leave their family, their children, their spouse, their husband, their wife, their mother, and their land, to go and be working, slaving from day in, day out, because there's no job in Cambodia, because the job has been disseminated because of the colonization of Chinese business, big business coming. You know, the mom and pop store cannot compete with this, you know, multi-million-dollar business that's coming. And so it's pushing us to go out to Thai, to Malaysia, to other places. And if that is not enough, and whatever you post, or if you have some kind of star power, they think that you are creating incitement, and they'll nab you, they'll get you. Like Lunch Tauri, she has been quiet. They got her anyway, just to show example that you are not safe. Even if you are involved, if you've been involved, you're not safe, even if you're not doing anything. So no one is safe.
Thank you. That means somebody, any input regarding that website that I just showed, that is nobody say that the law have not been enacted yet. It's going to be on February 16. And I'm saying it again, if on February 16 and after February 16, and you start seeing, you, especially inside Cambodia, that you start seeing your favorite post or your favorite blog being, you couldn't find it anymore. That is the reason, because it's being filtered. Cannot hear you, Samady.
Okay. Well, from my perspective, there's always the cause and the effect. So we have to know what is the reason why the regimes decide to do this all of a sudden. Well, they might be on an arresting spree, for example. Well, from most people's perspective, we call this the NIG, which is the National Internet Gateway, which is very similar to the Great Firewall of China. But I would like to call this the Golden Shield projects of CPP. We know CPP has Cambodian People Parties, but soon it will be China People Party, because we copy everything that China has implemented, and it seemed to be successful. So the China People Party will start implement this strategy of preserving their chess piece, which known as Hun Sen, and their ideology from unwanted and foreign policy. As recently, we've seen that Hun Sen, as the ASEAN leader, he going to Myanmar, which received so many criticism from Myanmar people on his Facebook account when he went live. This is very embarrassing, because no one has ever go to Hun Sen Facebook and comment such mean things under his profile. No one dared to do that. So this has received many hate, and I believe the reason behind doing this is, one, to stop foreign people entering Hun Sen Facebook and comment mean things about him when he went on live, and two, he might be going on an arresting spree. He can arrest whoever he wanted. No news will be spread to Cambodian people. Everyone will live in the little bubble that cannot be burst. So Cambodian people will have no clue what's going on in their society, only what the government said. For example, under Samdech Hun Sen, he secured a $1 billion deal with China. This will bring a lot of economic success into Cambodia. So they will not have anyone to criticize them, and people in Cambodia will not find out the true reason behind this deal that has been implemented by Hun Sen. We could be selling Cambodian land to China for 99 years, and the Cambodian people would not know. So in this case, it is coming. I feel like the youth, especially who really want to learn about their country politics, will not find out the genuine truth. Just like the Great Firewall of China.
I actually can answer that question, Samady. You brought up a good point. Why is he doing it? I mean, what's coming up in the commune this year and then next year? What's coming up?
Okay. Well, the election, but I wanted to because somebody just struck a chord with me. You know, I was only like 6 or 7 when the Pol Pot took over. I think it was 6. And, you know, I was the product of the children mobile team. I was taken away from my parents and, you know, re-educated. So we have no access to any other news. So the government made us think they're the greatest. We hated everyone else. We call American, we call the England Chakapot. You know, we call them Chakapot. We call them a gang. We call Chakapot Anglais. We call all kind of names. We hated them. We didn't know any better. And what happened? Over 3 million people died, and the world didn't know. The world didn't know this exists. It did exist. And we're going back to that part again when somebody was saying that the youth wouldn't find out the truth. That was happening in my generation not that long ago, and we're going back that way again. So yes, going back, yes, the communal election is coming up, and so this is why he's doing all this to show them, if you dare stand up for your belief, this is what's going to happen to you. You're going to get arrested.
Yeah, and also to block the informations that the people going to elections, what's going on. They all know what's going on in Cambodia, but now the flow of information just cut off. At the same time, since we are talking about freedom of expression, we are talking about living in America. We all live in America. We all have a voice. We all have voices. And like I said from beginning, we have freedom of expression. So in America, recently we have HR 4686 and S3052 as a Cambodian American. First, I would like to thank everybody from all the states that have supported, that have worked on it, and also the constituents from each state that been calling, emailing, and also join, talking to their senator, talking to their staffer, working so hard on that. So first of all, we would like to thank Cambodian American that give up their time, that put in all their input and call their senator to help with HR 4686 and S3052. That's how democracy works, and that's how freedom of expression. We live in America where you have the freedom to do that. Everyone in America know what democracy is. Everyone in America know what freedom of expression is. You have the freedom to speak your mind. You have the freedom. Nobody, when you live on Facebook, nobody come and grab you within 4 minutes. And also, and that's what HR 4686 and S3052 is. Everybody have a duty, and also have and your freedom of expression, your freedom to do your free will is please help to call your senator. And the same thing with me, right? Thank you, everybody who have involved so far. Thank you for your call. Thank you for your help every day.
Yeah. And, you know, if I may add with the, thank you, the NIG, the National Internet Gateway, the international community try to help, like there's 3 special rapporteurs.
Yes.
You know, like Vitud Matabon, who is a special rapporteur to Cambodia to observe a human rights situation in Cambodia, and Irene Khan, who is the special rapporteur to investigate or to report on the right for freedom of opinion and expressions, and Mary Lilar, who is the rapporteur for a special rapporteur for human rights defender, all of them had asked the Hun Sen government to rescind this sub decree, because doing so it will impair people, integrity, and limit freedom of speech and expressions and dignity. And An Sakan, who is the Cambodia permanent representative in Geneva, came back and said these rapporteurs are not working what they're supposed to do. They're one-sided. They should be working on stopping the incitement, restore social order. He said this national internet gateway would ensure national revenue, safety, public order, dignity to people, and culture that will reach. And they cited that before they draft this NIG, they consulted with expert, and they use the National Covenant of Civil and Political Rights, Article 19, Section 3, that says that, if you are creating any kind of excitement, and I think that they really did take out of context, because I spent time reading it, and there was one in Section 3, at that time, like, human being, and sometimes if you write something like, oh, so-and-so's having an affair with so-and-so, if you say that, and some, it creates too much excitement, incitement. So you don't say those kind of things. And then they took it out of proportion. They said, oh, we consult with the international, and we're not doing it alone. Like the China has the Great Firewall. We're not doing this alone. We're in cahoot, with people like the U.S. with the England. But that's misleading, like your video had showed. So I just wanted to say that these people trying to help, but Hun Sen said, oh, we're doing this for the interest of our security.
On the topic of helping, you remind me of something from the video. I think the spokesperson for Hun Sen, he said that when you learn how to drive, you must follow the law. That is untrue. Because in the US, I have the freedom to go anywhere I want. No one will censor me or limit my mileage to go to a certain place. This is not a good comparison. It just show how ignorant he is. He tried to compare this to censorship. When driving, if someone censored me, like I cannot go past a certain state, that is called censorship. That is when they try to compare between driving and censorship. But no one limit where I can drive to, and no one can tell me where I should go and where I should not go. While in this case, censorship, they will tell you what website you can go to, what information you can listen to, and what TV channel you can tune into. In this case, by you on a CTN, that's only like 3-4 channels that is in Cambodia, if I remember correctly. So that's what I would like to add into the input that you say. Freedom.
Yes, the regime is always whatever they do is under peace and prosperity. Thank you, peace. So if you are against them, they arrest you, and the charge would be incitement to cause unlawful so to disturb their peace and prosperity in Cambodia. So it's scary, but I just want to bring it up the topic, because so that we our youth in America and everybody in America will understand that this is what's going on starting on February 16. If you are in Cambodia, what you read will be censored, what you look at, and if you missing a blog or you missing CNRPA, Khmer Youth Voices for Justice, we are not a favorite of the regime. So so it is like one of our guests said, it is again is unconditional. It's again the will of the people, guaranteed under the law of Cambodia. So, and let me read a couple more. It says Cambodia have witnessed a sharp deteriorating in press and online freedom over the last 5 years, resulting in the withdrawal of trade perk by European Union. So 20% withdrawal, and so also they also noted that the gateway will provide authority with measure to prevent and disconnect all network connections that affect national income. Again, talking about income, security, again, social order, morality, culture, traditional, and customs. So all these just to calm down everybody in Cambodia. Elections, communal election is coming up, national elections coming up. They don't want everybody inside Cambodia to hear what's outside have to say, and so living in a world without knowing anything what's going on from the outside. So it is a scary situations. So anything you would like to add? I mean, and Samady, we are at the end of our show. So anything you like to for our audience to understand what's going on regarding censorship? This is like a really, it's not just censorship. This is like a filter. So if you imagine all these things coming in and they block it, and anything that going out is something they want you to see, they want you to hear. So all this network, all this internet is like here, stop here, it stop, and you can only see what they want you to see, and you can say what you want to say as long as it's good, as long as it's about the regime, as long as it's about selling lace, selling lotion, skin whitening, as long as you wanted to do that, you're okay. As long as you say, thank you, peace, you are okay. But if you say anything out beside thank you, peace, you will come, they come and get you. Like Gasavan Chai, he was on what Telegram arguing, defending his father. Somebody from a different country told the regime he says such and such, so he got arrested and thrown in jail. That's not even an IG got effect yet, but on February 16, that just I want everybody to be aware. If you are selling, let's say, skin whitening, you are selling, you thank you peace, you are safe. But beside that, you're unsafe, and everyone need to be aware, and everyone, people power need to speak up. Cannot be just sitting still.
Well, so Linda, you were saying about the two pieces of legislation, and I think you were day and night to get this going along with a few other people, and I strongly believe that if we can get those pieces of legislation, the HR 4686 Cambodia Democracy Act of 2021 and S3052 Cambodia Democracy and Human Rights Act of 2021, if we can get both of the legislation, but at least get the first one going, 4686, it will have impact on helping remedy the situation, because I think Hun Sen knows it's coming. It's coming. His days are numbered, and that's why he spent so much money. And I know this is not the topic of our discussion tonight, and that's why he knows his days are numbered. So he hired two lobby firm, a lobby firm and a law firm, to fight for to lobby for his government, to put a good front. So he knows his days are numbered. So the more reason we all of us, everyone, need to help, pass this piece of legislations. And if you want to get involved, please get a hold of us. Linda, she hosts every Tuesday, and the CNRP page, message us, get to us, because we really want your help. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. That mean, yes, contact us. I speak English on Tuesday, but I also speak Khmer as well. So if you learning to speak English and you speak Khmer, I can speak Khmer. So please contact me. Contact me, Pauline. Contact Samady. You know, he's very nice. He's good looking. So maybe all the lady contact him. You can contact me too. I'm not against anybody, but you know, Samady is pretty cute too, so you can contact somebody. And you can contact me. Yes, as always, you know, I said already, thank you everyone who have involved. Thank you everyone who has so far been involved with us. And it's not just, you know, a project is a by project. So thank you to the constitution, to the people of each state that contact us, contact me, and get involved and call their senator. We really appreciate it, and we really advise it. It's not my duty, it's our duty. That mean duty is somebody's duty. So if you would like to know more, but like I said, we also speak in Khmer as well. Our show in Khmer 6 days a week, and we also talk about this HR 4686 and S3052. We talk enough that the regime in September 15, they hired Quavers Communications for $70,000 a month, and now January 5th, they sign another contract with Gum for $60,000 a month. And you know, that's because of our work. That's because our voice matter, and that also because of our voices in America. Everybody voices, everyone that get involved. That's why the regime doesn't want to hear from me or somebody or that mean, because we, you know, we told them, and they should be scared that when HR 4686 and S3052, and again, it's not sanctioned in Cambodia, it's sanctioned the regime, sanctioned the dirtiest, many dozens, not just dirty dozen. We should be putting some more name, not just dozen, many dozen that have to cause deforestation in Cambodia, that cause land grab in Cambodia, and that cause corruptions, dirty money, and how unexplained amount of wealth in America, so freezing their asset. So people living in Cambodia, it's not something to be scared of. It's not going to affect the ordinary people who making a living every day, just day to day, just supporting the regime, putting sanctions, putting Magnitsky Acts on the dirtiest dozen. So please, if you live in America, if you American Cambodian, or if you just Cambodian, please tell you American friend, tell you American neighbor, friends, anyone you know, call your senator up, ask them to support. If let me show you the list.
Yeah, Linda, I love the way you said it. One time you said the sooner this law passed, this piece of legislation passed, the Cambodia will save $130,000 a year, because that's how much Hun Sen spent a year for lobbying. So the sooner it passed, the more we save for Cambodia.
And it's not his money, I mean.
It's not even his money.
Yeah, it's not his money. It's Cambodian money. If you go to this website, go to congress.gov website. If you have not seen your state in here, we have California. We have 2 senators already supported. Rhode Island, 2 senators already supported. But that does not mean that California cannot help. The Californian can call up their family, their friend, their neighbor that used to live with them, that live in a different state, and have them contact their senator. Like Delaware, we have 1 Delaware senator that supported already. But please contact your friend, contact your family in Delaware, and have them call their other senator. Florida, we have Marco Rubio support already. So the other senator need to be support. Illinois, 1 senator. Maryland, 1 senator. Massachusetts, 1 senator. North Carolina, 1. Vermont, 1. So the rest of the state, if you're not on that list, please contact your senator and tell them you want their senator to support S3052 and HR 4686, and that is that's what we call in America. We have the freedom to call our senator. We have the freedom to to ask people to ask, because you the voter, you have the voice. Senator want to hear from you. They want your vote. They want your vote when election come. Every vote counts, so your voice count. Please call them. Let me see. Sam would like the site. Let me copy it. You go, Sam. You can check it out. You can watch it too. We check it so often because we want to see some changes.
Now, you know what? That's our cheap thrill, okay? I mean, maybe people excited about football, whatever. For us, we're going to that site, checking, oh, who's supporting? Oh, like, that's our thrill.
Thank you so much. That means anything add to ING beside that it's scary. They controlling Cambodia, the recent control, because us speaking outside, not just us, the Cambodian Americans speaking outside, the HR 4686 S3052, and also wanting to bring attention in English to the youth in America, the youth everywhere that know how to speak English, to be aware of what's going on in Cambodia, and the people in Cambodia, speak up. Staying still only get Hun Sen, allow Hun Sen to create more law to suppress.
I just wanted to say that I think a guest named Eric Chor, he said, if Hun Sen does come step foot in the U.S., there will be protests. He will not be welcome. He will not have a good time. He will be, that wouldn't. Not, yes, that's what will happen. We will not.
Yes, that's what will happen.
Yeah. Yes.
If worse come to worse, Biden did let him in, and we cannot do anything. I will genuinely welcome him to the U.S. with a lot of protest. I love seeing I think if I remember correctly, a couple years back when Hun Sen visited the U.S., an RFA reporter asked him how do you feel that the U.S. limited where you can go. And he cannot say anything, because he said, of course, in the other country you had to follow the other people law. But if you would have told him that in Cambodia, you would have been arrested and thrown in jail for at least 10 years.
Yep. So this is what happened. The first thing is, we do not want the U.S. We do not. I mean, it's U.S. gonna. It's already invite him. It's just that it's been delayed. It's been postponed. But the thing is, we don't want him to be in the land of democracy, the land of the free. You can have freedom of expressions in America, and you cannot have that in Cambodia. And as the same thing as the Cambodian new sub-decree on the ING, that there's no freedom of expression, no freedom of not just expression. There's no freedom of information flowing in. Period. So that's how suppressed it is, and how that's the regime deal right now. And in order to, we have, like I said, we have a signature at Action Network. Please go and sign the petitions. We have that open letter to President Joe Biden. Also, we're still collecting signature on ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. Please don't just listen. Please do your job. Please help share and sign the petitions. It's not just in America. It's all over. The ending impunity for justice in Cambodia. It's worldwide campaign. So Sam Moon, I think he's in New Zealand. He can sign it too. If you haven't signed it, don't just sign it. Share it, promote it, and with your friend. Doesn't have to be Cambodian. Doesn't have to be which color you can be any color. You can be any. You can be American, you can be Hispanic, you can sign the petition. So there's no limit on who can sign that. That's one. Open network, Joe Biden, Cambodian American, please go and sign that open letter to President Joe Biden. The second one, the third one, please help to, you are Cambodian American. If you are Cambodian you still have the voice. You still have voice of contacting your family, contacting your neighbor, contacting your friend, to contact your senator in your state to help them support HR 4686 and S3052. So thank you so much, everybody.
Thank you.
I'm selling this. I'm trying to. You should know that I motivated you every single week to do this, and I'm not just here sitting here, just motivating you. We all doing our job. We do our part. So please help to do your part and contact us, contact somebody, contact me, contact everybody that's in the show. 6 days per week in Khmer, contact them in Khmer. You want to contact me in English, it's easier to drop me a comment. I answer you because I do read your comment, and as always, thank you, the audience. Thank you for showing up each week, each Tuesday to listen to me, about HR 4686 and S3052. Thank you so much, and thank you for your support as well, for help share the show and help to remind our audience regarding the petitions, all 3 petitions. So thank you so much. And like our audience, Ta Chan said, he's all Cambodian stand up together in Cambodia as well. We are doing this outside. Also, we need help from Cambodia, but at the same time, we out here, we have freedom of expression. We have the freedom to do that. So please use your freedom. And you are here in America, use your freedom to do what you can.
Yeah,
we are over time right now, extra 17 minutes. So thank you so much, Netming, and thank you for being here. Any last minute before we say goodbye for this week?
No, just be kind to each other. Don't snitch on each other. Don't snitch on the people in Cambodia. Thank you.
Anything, Samady? Be kind, anything?
That's all for today, Bon. I suggest gather all the information while you still can, while you can still use Google. In a week from now, there will be no more Google in Cambodia.
So sad.
So thank you both guests. Thank you, Netming, Pauline. Thank you, Samady, for being here. And again, both of my audience, not both of my guests and many of my audience that being here. Thank you so much. And
thank you, Linda. You're always great. I appreciate you. You're so passionate about what you talked about. You could sell that. Thank you.
I'm actually here telling. I'm not just selling. I'm doing it. So please,
I know. I said because you're so passionate about it, and it's so easy for people to buy into it because it shows.
Yeah. So everybody, I'm not just passionate because I'm here. I'm not just I'm not here to lip service. I'm lip service and doing the job at the same time. So please, no lip service. No, don't just listen. Don't just share. Do it at the same time. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Well, thank you so much, our audience, for being here. Again, we have a lot of people tuning in. Please, again, like I said, we have 3 petitions. I already explained already. So thank you. And I'm looking forward to talking to you next week. Please let me know. Like I always said, drop me comment what you want to hear next week, what you want me to talk about. I'll do a research and we'll talk about that. Also, please stay safe. Please be safe. Please be kind. There's a lot of junk going on with the noise, with the news and whatever it is. So please listen and take what is correct, what is real, what is true, what is with backup evidence, and not just hearing and sharing things that you don't understand. So please take care of yourself. Please be good, be kind, and I will see you next week. Thank you.